Hello. I started a new job yesterday. Or rather, I started the training for a new job, and it deals with customer service, which is not really my forte. But I do fake like I'm a people person if you pay me well enough. So I've been doing this training, and it has just so gracefully reminded me of why I don't like dealing with customer service, but mostly why I don't like working in group projects, group settings in general. I'd rather work by myself. So, we all simple instructions that were emailed to us the night before. And I checked my email and I said to myself, you know what? Let me just, try out a few little things. Let me read over the email so that I won't be lost tomorrow. Not that it would, not that it's complicated, but just so I can get like a foot ahead. I read it and it was really simple stuff, just like logging in, passwords and blah, 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 whatever. I go to class the next day and nobody knows how to fucking log in. You would think that people would um, refer to their workbooks and, look at the said sign in names and passwords. Nope. It said you cannot use you cannot use Mozilla Firefox. Hey teacher, I'm having a problem. I can't seem to get into the system. Okay. Why are you using Mozilla Firefox? Oh, I thought you could use it. The email says, and I have said in class just a few seconds ago that you cannot use Firefox. You have to use Internet Explorer. Oh, okay. Teacher, I don't have the name and the password to get into this account. I've just given you that. I've put it up on the screen because, there's like a share screen. I put it up on the share screen for the computers and it's been put in chat. Were you not paying attention? Admittedly, no, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, I need you guys to pay attention. This is a job, it's fast paced, it's 2 weeks training. You can't think that you're just going to schlep through this class. It's not going to work like that. You have to pay attention. It's very, very fast paced. And if you do not pass the quizzes at the end, then you will not be hired for the job. Okay. 4 hours of training. 3.5 hours of that training was teaching these fools how to log in with the name and the password. Yeah, big waste of my time. Especially since training at the facility is not paid for the first, I think for the first week, and I think they teach you how to do like take calls and things like that, and take orders. So if I remember properly, I think it's that if you don't pass quizzes, you fail. I'm not certain quizzes you fail. I'm not sure how it works. I just know that you don't get paid until you start taking calls, which is like maybe like a week or so into training. Okay. I have never felt like I wanted to just like choke everybody in one room before since college. And it's just it was really like miserable and it's crazy. I couldn't I just thought to myself, wow, I'm gonna have to go through 2 weeks of this with other people. And I'm like, hey, can we practice together? Okay, sure. We go into the practice room and it was almost like we never had training. People still didn't know what the hell to do. And I just logged out the classroom. It was just it's too much. Today I went to my second day of training and it wasn't as bad. The teacher kind of got banhammery because there were a couple people that weren't paying attention the way they're supposed to, because when they call on your name, um, and you're not paying attention, because there were a lot of people that were like on Facebook on their computers and stuff, and because you could do other things by on the computer, but you're not supposed to. Get out. I'm calling your name. You didn't hear me. Get out. What did I just say? You're gone. It's just like it was really like a dream come true. So the teacher asked this one student to share their screen, and the person was supposed to let the teacher fix whatever was going on because it wasn't anything that they did particularly wrong. And the teacher's like, okay, just step back. Let me do what I have to do. Let me check some things in your computer. This person totally heard the opposite. They started typing things, moving the mouse, clicking things on their own. And the teacher was like, didn't I just say to you, don't touch anything? I felt like I heard my mom. I felt like I heard my mom. So yeah, that was a really, really, really weird day. Then I came home and there was this big argument about um, fat shaming, blackface, and the cosplay community. And I just didn't, not that I don't have time for it, I don't have time for ignorant people. I deal with a lot of touchy subjects on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, and it's not to cause flame wars or anything like that, but it's just to, I guess, invoke a thought process and just help people become more empathetic to other people's lives and how they choose to live. I brought that up because when you do blackface, as I mentioned before in my other video, when you do blackface has like a really horrible history, and it's basically mocking black people. If you have to think that if this is racist, you probably shouldn't do it. And there are a lot of people that feel that when you do cosplay and you change your skin color, um, that is a possible skin color, because changing your skin color to something that's blue or red or yellow, green, those are, as far as we know as humans, those are impossible colors. So, of course, it would make sense to do makeup for it. But when you cosplay other races, there's no need for you to do blackface. There's no need for you to do whiteface. You don't need to change your color. Your costume should be recognizable enough for you not to have to do that. And it's always like that. It's always like that. If somebody who's white that wants to play Michonne, I've seen it plenty of times where somebody, even with blonde dreads, did an awesome Michonne. And it was like no problem. She was able to do that. She had the two people being like the zombies with chains, and she had the katana. She had the whole outfit and everything. There was a black guy who did what's his name? Who did Daryl, and we knew who it was because of his outfit. He didn't need to do whiteface. Nobody needs to do offensive shit like that, you know. And there's a difference between satire and doing it to offend somebody. Like, you know, people keep bringing up, oh well, nobody said anything when Robert Downey Jr. did it in Tropical Thunder. It's not the same. He was basically he was hired to play a problematic role. He was hired to play play a role that was satirical, where it was addressing the fact that Hollywood feels that a white person can fill any role that they want to, or you can dress up a white person and they can play an Asian person. You can dress up a white person, put blackface on, and um, call them a black person instead of actually hiring an actual Asian or actually hiring an actual black person. You know, Hollywood still has some very thick racial tensions when it comes to picking people for roles and writing roles for people of color. So these false equivalencies get on my nerves, and then you have people that are transphobic. You know, I had a person come on my page, and I was discussing how somebody in my class was clearly trans, and my teacher was insisting on calling them a male when it's pretty obvious that they consider themselves a woman. They were consider themselves a female, and that's their prerogative. I'm not going to have somebody. I'm not going to disrespect somebody and impose upon them what I may or may not think they are. Call them what they want to be called, and if he wants to be called a woman, call him a woman. And I had to address it. I had written on Facebook. I said, I felt kind of bad. It made me cringe that the teacher wouldn't acknowledge that she obviously wanted to be dressed as addressed as a woman, clothes, hair, everything. Okay, and well, with the name and everything, he. I know some people do. I want to correct myself here. I know that some people, some men, do cross dressing, and they still would like to be preferred to call he or male based terms. But in this case, that wasn't it. Like she was referring to herself as a woman, and that's totally okay. But the teacher didn't respect that, so I put it on Facebook, and this guy, I just friended him maybe like 30 minutes before I put up my post. And I put it on my Facebook post. I was like, my teacher keeps calling this trans person in my class a male when, they're a female. And he goes, why does it make you cringe? And then I don't think I got to answer it because other people kind of were like, whoa, that's fucked up that the teacher is not acknowledging what they feel they are. And he's like, well, isn't a trans person just a liar? And that like set me off right there. I had no time for it. I just said, I see that we can't be friends, and deleted him. It's ignorant. It's really ignorant. I don't have time for it. And I was already going through stress with these people in my class not paying attention. And when you impose upon others' lives your beliefs, whether it's your homophobic beliefs, your super uber religious beliefs, when you call people out their name and you're a non-believer, when you're racist as fuck. I mean, these are things that you shouldn't be doing anyway. You shouldn't be imposing upon anybody. In fact, they shouldn't even exist. But when you make it known, you have to expect a negative reaction. I was pretty pissed about it. Um, I don't know what it is with people not like, living and letting other people live. And it's hard to talk about because I have to talk about these things over and over and over and over again. It's tiring. It's like mentally and physically taxing to have to tell people things that they should know. Okay, you make a mistake and you call somebody something racial, something homophobic, like the word tranny, which is not the correct word to address somebody who is transgender. Somebody calls you out about it. Don't get in your feelings and become defensive and start saying, "Oh, freedom of speech. I do what I say. You shouldn't be offended, and you're overly sensitive." You don't get to tell other people what they feel, what they should feel. You don't get to tell people how to react either. If you fuck up, just admit it, apologize, learn from it. Don't do it anymore. It's easy. It's really, really easy. And for some reason, people don't want to do the right thing. They would rather stick to what they know. They would rather deal with their cognitive dissonance and say, I'm going to stick to my own idea of what I think is right, even though it's not right. And it's clearly not right. And they have a crap load of people telling them, hey, what you're doing is really screwed up. No, I'm going to do it anyway because I have freedom of speech and I can do what I want. You can't expect for there not to be any consequences. And you don't get to say to somebody, oh, well, you don't have to be so angry, or I don't like the way that you're talking to me. Well, I don't like the way that you just said what you said. And it's ignorant. And here you are telling me that you're going to do whatever the fuck you want. You're going to say whatever the hell you want, regardless of me and other people's feelings. I I don't have time for it. It's just it's I don't know. I have a feeling, and I'm slightly hoping that the earth kind of implodes on itself. And conversations like this make me feel that perhaps I should not have children if they're going to grow up in a place like this where people can't even deal. Like, nobody wants you to talk about race or racism. Pointing out racism is apparently racist. Telling somebody that you are being you're mansplaining to me, which is mansplaining is talking to a woman in a condescending way, like she doesn't know what she's talking about because she's a female. I've had people, men, tell me when I'm countering them in an argument that I'm getting too emotional, as if they would know if I'm hysterical on the other end of my computer screen. I'm getting too emotional and they'll laugh about it. It's ridiculous. That's apparently sexist. Um, Pointing out, I don't know, that my building doesn't have wheelchair access is looking for issues, and I obviously shouldn't care about it because I'm able to use my legs. And that's not the way the world works. Just because it doesn't affect you directly doesn't mean I shouldn't care about it. That's an apathetic way of thinking, and it makes you less human. It makes you less human. I feel like anybody who doesn't care about anybody else's problems really shouldn't have a right to complain and feel that, oh, this deserves attention, that deserves attention. How come this is not deserving attention when it affects them? If they don't have a heart to try and understand from another person's point of view, who lives a different walk of life, who may be a different color than you, who may not be as able as you. I just feel like I shouldn't have to talk about this, but I don't know. I'm venting, and it's my video diary, so whatever.